Right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Ad Lib Podcast. Today is episode number 102. It's good to be back. It feels like ages since I've been on the podcast. In fact, it has been ages. And good to have the whole gang back. Let me start with Joe, because I haven't seen you in a while. Joe, how's it going, my friend?
It's going a lot better. It also feels like ages since I was last on the podcast as well. But you guys will know, and people that keep up with my life will know, I moved again, hence the different room. But now at least I will be a lot more settled for a while, and I'll get back into my film reviews as well. Like, I only managed to see The Brutalist last week. I wanted to go see Companion, but I was still settling in. I'm busy with other things. But no, I'm doing a lot better now and excited to be back.
Good stuff. Franco, what about you? How's it going, my friend?
I'm good. It's been a while as well since I watched some movies, and finally, I've watched two. I am glad to have you back. I was feeling lonely. I mean, not to say that Jan wasn't good. Thank you, Jan, for holding the fort, basically. And I'm glad to see you guys. How have you been doing? I'm actually busy in the business of making short movies, so that's also why. So I'm looking forward. I'm gonna be quite busy. I feel like there's a music video planned as well. There's a horror which I want to do with Ashley, and it seems like it seems interesting. We were gonna try something different since he's more known in the comedy sphere. He's like, no, I want to do something more serious. So, but I have an idea. I already showed him some of the stuff I have in mind, and I look forward to collaborating with him as well. And then obviously we did. Let's start with an important thing. March 16th is the deadline for the April Fool's Short Film Festival. I don't know if we're gonna judge, but make sure to, if you have time and if you want to do crack some jokes and try your hand at doing a humorous short movie, go to April Fool's Short Film Festival, make a short movie that is as long as 15 minutes, no more, no less. Actually, no more, less is fine. And yeah, it's for filmmakers out there, indie filmmakers. I think even from abroad, it's fine if you put it and get in there. We're not just here in the business of reviewing films and shitting on movies like Emilia Perez, which I don't know why you gave it 3.5 stars, Andrea. I don't understand.
I didn't mind it at all.
No. Have you seen it, Joe?
No, I can't bring myself to watch it. It's like, if it were in the cinema, it would be easier because I can just commit to it and go, and I can sit in a dark room by myself. But with what I'm seeing around that film, it doesn't seem like it's going to be for me at all. And I feel like watching it at home, and it's quite long, I'm just going to get very distracted and check out at some point and just put something else on. But I do intend to watch it before the Oscars, so at least I'll have all of the nominations.
Oh my god! Wait, I'm getting graded. Yes, Yugopnik. Thank you, Yugopnik, for the raid. Yugopniks. I can see so many Yugopniks. I'm being graded on Twitch because, by the way, yeah. So I'm getting lots of follows and stuff. Welcome. It's movie time. No politics in this stream yet over here. We'll talk later.
No politics here. But we are talking about Emilia Perez, though, which has been heavily.
Yes, we're talking about penis to vagina.
I've seen that clip, and I can't believe that's a real song in that film.
It is a real song.
No, it's bad. It's genuinely bad. That scene is genuinely bad. I'll give you that. But there are also some very good songs, like the one when they're in the big concert hall. It's been a while since I watched it now, so I've forgotten.
Oh my god, you go. Okay. So thank you all for the follows. Not J4, Rubert, Skopanok, Fat Pikachu Forever, Terchas, Shisharka, 8, Tim Trem, Gabriel Herborn, Chatted, Herre Skopare. Jesus Christ. No mustache Maltese is cursed. No! But, so guys, introduce yourself.
I was going to ask where the mustache went. Now I'm the only one.
Yeah. It was annoying me. It was annoying me because even eating, leaving some crumbs over here, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm not built for this.
Just trim it or wipe your face, like.
I do wipe my face. Maltese at Pringles. Maltese at Pringles, and then his mustache flew away. It's true. And speaking of which, we are gonna talk about the Super Bowl trailers. We're also gonna review some other stuff. So first and foremost, introduction. Are you hearing the alerts? No, right?
No.
Okay. So, guys, I am the Maltese leftist, and I'm also known as Franco. And every Monday, I stream with my film-loving friends over here. Joe is also a filmmaker. He works with the Edinburgh rugby team. He makes great stuff. Okay. The good friend. Yes, I am the good Franco, not the Spanish Franco, exactly. And yeah, introduce yourself, guys. I don't want to be.
I mean, I'll go because Franco started on me as well. I am a filmmaker. I haven't made a film in a very long time, but it is something I hope to get to at some stage soon. Like Franco, I also have a music video planned in May in Malta at some point, so that will hopefully be something I can sink my teeth into. But other than doing content for Edinburgh Rugby and coming with you guys here, my friends, every Monday, for anyone out there who's interested, I also have my own YouTube channel where I review films, and I've also done an interview before as well, and I hope to do more of that. You can find that at Joe Paolella Film on YouTube. Subscribe, like, watch. A little bit helps, but that's basically me.
So, Raiders from Ugopnik, if you don't follow, I'm gonna come haunt you in your dreams, okay? So this is the channel over here. I'm showing the channel on the stream. He makes excellent reviews, and he watches more movies than I do. If you don't follow and subscribe, I'm gonna haunt you in your dreams. Thank you, Adramelek, Violent Haunting, God Bimbo Next Door, Juriki, .j4, Rubert. Thank you all for the follows, by the way. And finally, our teacher in the podcast. The teacher, by the way, which in Malta is a bit of politic, who don't want to, they're not allowed to say anything about education.
No, we're not. But hello, I'm Andrea, one of the hosts of the Ad Lib Podcast. I talk about films, I study films, and my life is film. My life is not potato, my life is film. That's a Maltese joke, by the way. Most viewers probably will not understand that.
No, I showed them. I mean, if you are millennials, you remember that meme, guys. So thank you, Andrea. Do follow, and Andrea's channel is the Ad Lib Podcast, where we are streaming this right now.
Indeed.
So someone from Ireland, Richard Nixon via Ouija board says, "Can't relate. My life is potato. My life is potato." I am Medexka. Hello. By the way, also follow Medexka, guys. Medexka is the only VTuber in Malta, which I've came to know through watching her Fall Guys, or Fallout. Giving her a shout out. Again, if you don't follow her, I will haunt you in your dreams forever. Or I will come to you like Nosferatu in the dark. So, back to movies now. Sorry for that, guys, but that's the nature of Twitch. Okay, indeed. Everything is potato. It is everything is potato. Like we're speaking about Emilia Perez. Emilia Perez is potato. You were too kind. But listen. Let's be. Thank you, Jan Wetex. Thank you, Cold Visions, for the follow. I was saying, Emilia, I gave it a chance, and there is some moments where the filming I liked. Some of the filming I liked, even the thing. There was also from penis to potato, exactly. So there was a moment where I'm not sure about the concert hall thing as well. Plus, they also use the AI. They use the AI to expand the range of the main actress.
To be fair, I've read that quite a few films this year used AI. Like most of the films that are nominated for Best Picture have all used AI. Like even Dune used AI, by the way. As much as I love that.
Oh
film.
No!
Yes.
And Brutalist, they said they used the AI because apparently the Hungarian accent was not as exactly as they wanted. So there's that. Dune was only for the eyes.
Yes, only for the eyes, exactly. So for
at the end of the day, my stance on the AI stuff is it can be used as a very good tool. make things a little bit easier and a little bit cheaper. I had said in my review of The Brutalist, if anyone watched that, was the longest review I did at 20 minutes because I went on a bit of a rant about the AI. If you're using it to, like they did in The Brutalist as well, to generate some images or pictures that you'd otherwise have to pay someone for, and you have a limited budget because that film was only made for 10 million, I don't really have a problem. In terms of having it affect someone's performance, that's where I don't like it. Like I compared that to an athlete using performance-enhancing drugs. You know, it makes it a bit unfair if someone has used a program to enhance performance in something. That's something where it doesn't sit right with me. It didn't ruin The Brutalist in any way for me. It does detract ever so slightly. But again, if you're using it like we said, Dune, to make the eyes blue, I don't really care. The CGI is used widely in films, and if it's something as insignificant as that, I don't really mind at all.
And my it's the same for me. It's like if you don't have the budget and you're tight in a corner, like we did for the short movie that I'm doing, we had no budget. So basically, we wanted a dog in a photo, and I created it with AI. No, it's not an actor
situation, though. Like completely different.
No, but it's again, it's like you have all these millions. And you use AI to especially with the controversy that surrounds Emilia Paris. Many people have heard it by now. I'm not gonna harp on it any longer. It's like why Dune was pretty low budget for how big the movie is. Really?
Was not 160 million, I believe. That's not low budget.
Yeah.
When you consider there are Marvel movies made for over 200.
But Marvel, I mean, let's not go there.
Well,
with their budgeting and their Hollywood budgeting. Very creative budgeting.
Ofigi, the low budget was Godzilla minus zero. What was that? 15 million?
Yes, but again, that's a different situation because it's different culture, different work culture, different wages. It's again, it's any time we mention Godzilla minus one and its budget, yes, all right, everyone's impressed by the 15 million budget. But again, you have to look at also what people are being paid there to work as well, which plays a big part into it. But still, very impressive, mind you, still very impressive. The 15 million.
Very impressive. So Marvel are just burning money or Hollywood accounting. And speaking of Marvel, every time, like Hugo Nick says, every time we try to go out, they pull us back in. So
shall we move on,
Maya VT, thank you. Yes, Maya VT, thank you for the follow.
Joe, you watched The Brutalist, right? Did you like it? Because
yes.
You mentioned the AI, but you didn't say what you thought about it.
I did really like it at the end of the day, but that kind of film panders to me. I love the huge American epic along the lines of, like, I guess something like There Will Be Blood. I did really, really like it. I didn't feel the length at all. I thought it was so well paced for how long it was. And the story was brilliant, and the performances are very good. I love the way it was shot, in particular, some of the images that they got in that film. I like Brady Corbet as a director already. I know a lot of people didn't like Vox Lux so much, and maybe for me, because in the situation I saw it in, I got to see it at Venice Film Festival, maybe that changed my opinion of it. I didn't think it was perfect or like fantastic by any means, but I did really like what he was trying to do. I thought Childhood of a Leader was an incredibly impressive like first film for him, so he's someone I've kind of like followed a little bit through his career. I've always been curious to see what he does, and I can't wait to see what he does next, because he's making this day and age, very daring films. Like, who else is trying to make a 3.5-hour drama, basically? But I liked what it had to say as well, and I thought it was mainly a bit of a metaphor for the filmmaking process as a whole, where as an artist, you can come in and you can have this ambition and you can have this vision as well. And then you get people who go, we believe in that vision, here's some money, go do it. But then they're always trying to constantly change it and warp it into something that it is not. So that's kind of what I took from it. But it is a fantastic film. It is one of the year's best films, easily.
I think it's any creative process where there's a lot of money. I mean, forget books. Books are cheap to make. But at any time you're building something which is enormous and has a lots of budget, making a film, music, which is very expensive sometimes as well, that stuff, I think the suits are always going to get involved somehow. Franco, you're going to say?
So, because I have a comment here from Twitch, Richard Dixon via Ouija board says, that's an interesting observation. It's definitely odd to think we might not hear actual actors' attempts at accents, but AI versions of them. And I say that as someone from a place with notoriously butchered accent, North Ireland specifically. We've rarely had a good attempt at our accents, but I appreciate the effort. Brad Pitt's was the worst, in my opinion. That I think he's speaking about Brad Pitt in Snatch.
Oh shit! I mean the whole act, having a coach your accent and for example, Timothée Chalamet for the Bob Dylan film. I mean that was a process. That was months and months and months of him trying to learn the perfect accent, learning the singing. I'm just thinking that process can all be like shortcut with AI is a little upsetting for me because you really lose the magic of a performance like the one by Chalamet.
He even learned to play the guitar. He had never played the guitar before then as well, which granted Bob Dylan songs are not hard to play. But still, for someone that's never played that instrument before, it's very big.
Use AI to play the song.
Exactly.
I
Use AI.
That upsets me a lot.
To do the hands, basically. This is how I play my guitar.
Or get an actual musician to play it, and you use cutaways, like
or face replacements. Anyway,
what about you, Franco? Yeah. What have you watched recently?
Oh, finally, I scratched my itch. So I watched. So I watched Emilia Perez, but I gave it a chance. Emilia Perez, but I couldn't stand it. It's a DNF. I have to start. So when I tried to battle through it and maybe see if there was some good moments. Trust me, for me the filming was not as bad as it was done, but it was very all over the place. Sometimes it was too hectic for things I didn't need. And it's not a question. After this, I'm going to try and watch Wicked. It's not a question that I don't like musicals and I don't like melodrama. Like, heck, I like one of the movie watch if I get my subs up is Black Narcissus by Emmerich Pressburg, and there is high melodrama, very colorful movie, which Wicked is not. But it didn't hit. So even if we remove the trans storyline off of it, even if you remove the trans storyline, it still didn't make sense. Like, people suddenly start singing like this while they're doing a podcast and saying how they live. But it's like there was a lady, even the one in Israel, right? When it's like a lady, I don't knock on there's door. It sounded awkward. It was very, very awkward.
No, that's many moments were very awkward. Yes, I will agree completely. And the change in tone sometimes is so off. It's like it's like a serious drama, and then suddenly they're singing about the vaginoplasty. It was off at times. I agree completely. At times, what the hell am I watching?
So. But again, guys, if you want to make your own minds, maybe some people will like it. Just watch it. That's a philosophy in our mind, because I know I heard many people shitting on it, but watch it, then shit on it, or watch it or defend it with your life. And finally, the itch I was scratching was Son of the Century, because oh my god, I miss this kind of filmmaking. Very bold, excellent cinematography, and the Son of the Century is the story of Mussolini's rise to power. He also goes into his socialist background, and I didn't expect it to be.
I had no idea about his father. What?
Yes, his father. Basically, oh look, that's he's giving his heart to his people. Exactly. There's a moment about it basically where he says, like, we'll tell them it's a Roman salute. It's like, this is not a Roman salute. No. It doesn't matter. People will believe it.
Piacenza. Oh my god, where was it from?
He's Milan. He's from Milan.
No. The salute. Where was because he goes into like a whole description of where the salute actually comes from. Oh, I can't remember the Italian.
Yeah. No, he said I don't want to shake hands anymore because the socialists refused to shake hands with him, so he did the salute basically.
Yes.
So, guys, it is funny. It is grating. It's I've seen already articles saying that they're defending Mussolini. I don't think they're
No.
defending Mussolini
What?
whatsoever.
Not at all.
Not at all. He is a buffoon. Luca Marinelli knows that he's playing a buffoon
Yes, yes.
and who's got a personal vendetta against everything and everyone as long as he's becoming the most powerful man of that century. You know, he's always like saying that I'm an animal and I smell the times coming and this is my time, he says. And you know, very quotable. I'm always amazed by that line. I'm butchering it, but he says a line where he says, I like democracy because it gives you a certain freedom, even the freedom to destroy it.
Yes.
Oh
yes,
my
yes.
God, that's episode 5, and it's also in the trailer. So I have some comments here. Sorry, guys. So not even that was okay. He said okay. So Brad Pitt in Snatch. He said it was okay. It was The Devil's Own with Liam Neeson, who is from the place Brad was trying to do. Actually, apologies. Liam Neeson wasn't in that, but it was Harrison Ford. Less of a sin in hindsight, but still. Wait. Harrison Ford does an accent as well in that. Anyway, I also say as a queer human, I don't know any queer people who liked Emilia Perez. It felt very ham-fisted in addressing LGBTQ plus folks apparently. But that's the French director for you, Richard Nixon. And Ufiki goes, Kek W about Mussolini giving his heart to the people. Anyway.
Moving on. Anything else, Franco, you watched?
Nothing yet, but I think I'm gonna finish this because I binged right through it. Again, it was a scratch that needed to an itch that needed to be scratched. But I'm looking forward to watch Ariel Payne. What else do I have to looking forward to watch? I'm looking forward to watch. Bear with me a second because I have
Captain
a list.
America.
Yes, a New World. Black Dog.
It looks really good. Captain America looks amazing. I am so looking forward to having to go watch it next weekend. I'm counting down the days.
Okay. Listen. You're going to watch it next weekend. I'll come and hold your hand and be a good
Help me, please.
comrade.
Help me, please, comrade.
Yeah, I'm not going to go watch that.
Really, Joe? Really?
Oh no,
I'm really surprised.
No.
Guys, before I go, because I have to go study now, let me give a quick comment about Companion without spoiling anything, because the bloody trailer spoils so much from that film. Oh my God.
Oh no!
Yes, don't watch the trailer for Companion if you're going to go watch it. Just trust me, just go watch it. It's a decent film. So just a really quick comment. I'm going to say I'm really loving the work done by Sophie Thatcher. She was in Heretic, in which she was very good. And same, another great performance here by her. I really can't say much about the film because, again, spoilers. All I'll say is there's a great dynamic between Huey, Jack Quaid, and Sophie Thatcher. There's a fantastic dynamic there. The script is great. The script is really moves very quickly. It's what, 90 minutes long? I believe 97 minutes long.
Yeah,
it's one of those snappy, really quick films. For I don't know why there is an intermission in Eden. I really not a film that needs an intermission because 40 minutes in, you're getting into the film and boom, it cuts. I mean, The Brutalist is one thing, but this is like you can fit like three brutalists, three companions in the Brutalist. So like, I don't know why there's an intermission for it. Anyway, but apart from that, I enjoyed it. It's a good script, good performances by most of the actors. I love the concept. I really love the concept. I want to mention another film made by someone we know, but I can't because of spoilers again. However, I would recommend going to watch it. The one thing I'm not too sure about is the direction. Drew Hancock, I believe this is his debut film. Yes, it seems like it. Not too 100% convinced by the direction and some of the cinematography, but overall, still a well-made film, well-produced, great concept, twists and turns galore, and I would highly recommend checking out Companion. This is the kind of film that I really want to support because it's a small film. Imagine very small budget for this, but it's a very well-written film, and I miss the time when we can get just a fun 90-minute thriller that is fun to watch at the cinema. You enjoy it, then you go home, talk a little bit about it, and forget it. That's pretty much Companion, and I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. So guys, I'm gonna have to leave you here because I need to go watch Jacques by Abel Gance. For
Illallah.
university.
Oof.
I watched the very long one that I had watched already. I have to watch the short one because apparently there's a 1938 version as well of that film, also by Abel Gance.
Abel Gance is the guy who did Napoleon,
Yes.
in a way.
Napoleon,
Okay, this
Naru.
6 hour epic, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So
1912.
I am going to leave you. Do you have the link to the Super Bowl trailers? The one I sent
You
in
can
chat?
send it. The one you sent on Facebook chat.
Yeah, you
basically,
can
we
use
have.
that to go through the trailers if you want to, guys. So,
But can we share screen?
yes, I can share screen. So no, I can whilst I watch it, I can move it from my computer, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
So let me
So
send it
we
to
can
you
go
guys.
immediately into that.
Send the link again, by the way.
All right. But hold on. You're gonna show it, right? Because Andrea's hosting at this moment.
Yes.
That's why.
I'll share screen again.
The joys of live, guys.
All right, guys. So
thank
I
you.
am going to switch to podcast share screen with 2. There should be.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Every must-see movie trailer from Super Bowl 2025. Oh wow, it's only me. It's only me on the podcast. I don't want to hog the spotlight, guys.
Francop
Is it?
is paying
Why?
attention.
So in the meantime, Harrison Ford, Richard Nixon again via Ouija board. The spirit of Richard Nixon is telling us Harrison Ford had an accent in it, but it was possible. Brad's hurt my spirit. Weirdly, of all people, Eric Bana did a very good Irish accent in something. I wish I could recall, but I think altering accent takes so much away from the performance. Even if it's bad, I want to hear the actor themselves trying to embody the character. I have to think about it, and I understand the thing. Also, I hope you're not mistaking the accent in Munich of Eric Bana to an Irish accent, because I will ban you from this chat, Richard Nixon. Okay, you're already bannable because you're Richard Nixon via Ouija board. By the way, I'm only joking.
We're good,
So,
guys. By the way, on
Yeah, all good. And let's by the way, chat in Twitch and also on the YouTube. Please, the YouTube viewers, do leave a comment on the chat. No, not that one. I said, okay, Richard Dixon. Do leave a comment. Do participate. We like to hear your. We'd love to hear your thoughts about anything that you've watched. Basically, go Eagles. Sorry, Chiefs. Taylor Swift must be ruminating the fact that her boyfriend is a loser now, and we're gonna have a new album soon enough. That's the lore right now.
Not just a
So-
loser, he had a terrible game as well.
You watched it yesterday?
Oh no, I just saw the highlights and some of the stats.
Oh shit! No, it was bad. Like it was like something like 33 something or 40 something.
I think it was like 44-20 or something like that.
Yeah, it was. They trashed them basically. The Philadelphia Eagles guys. But better than the Philadelphia Eagles are these two Maltese Falcons who are doing. We're gonna do a quick rundown of the trailers. Unfortunately, YouTube is a bitch and that doesn't let us show any trailers just in case we get clapped. So, every must-see movie trailer from Super Bowl 2025, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, and more. The Super Bowl consistently delivers some of the most incredible trailers, and this year was no exception, raising our expectations even higher. So I've watched most of the trailers. I think even other people watched most of the trailer. There was the Thunderbolts, How to Train Your Dragon, Megan 2.0, Novocaine, Lilo and Stitch, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. There was also The Studio, if I'm not mistaken. What else there was? The Studio. Andrea? Are there anything else more movies? But most of the trailers that were in shown were just again like we've seen the Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, Formula One. I've seen more of Formula One. I think we can start with the good ones. Joe?
Yeah, so I'm actually out of the loop. I think from the ones that were shown, I think I've only seen. Because I saw the Mission Impossible one because I've seen that in this a couple of times by now. I believe there was the new Jurassic World one as well. That was shown. Mission Impossible just looks like it's going to be more Mission Impossible. Like, I don't have much more to say than that. Like, I'm not a huge fan of those films. I'm kind of just a very casual one. I enjoy them for what they are. Talk a little bit about the Jurassic World one, because it was a film I was quite shocked by who was involved in making it and also appearing in it, because you've got Gareth Edwards, who previously did The Creator, whose films I actually quite like. Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali and Jonathan Bailey in this film. Like, 3 really big stars in this franchise, which seemed very directionless, like from the moment it started. I thought the first Jurassic World was like kind of dumb fun. Totally fun. And after that, it just got progressively worse, even featuring our own home country of Malta as well.
Yeah, by the way, guys, the Jurassic World before this one, right? What was it called?
Dominion?
Anyway,
No,
Dominion.
Was it Dominion?
Dominion. Where basically, there's a scene shot in our capital city, which was decent enough. Like that scene on its own is a very well filmed and a very exciting scene. But obviously, what happened is that our film commissioner gave more money to the dinosaurs than to the actors involved in making the movie. Not like the Maltese crew, I mean, not the actors. And in fact, if you come to Malta, you see some dinosaurs spread over here and there. But he's not doing it anymore. It seems like, right?
Yeah. But
So,
with this trailer, I kind of like the vibe it's got. I don't know if I like everything, because I thought the vibe kind of felt like a bit Indiana Jonesy, where it felt like this like big adventure, very fun. Which, if they can do that in a good way, I think it's a good direction. The series, I know that they had done one. It was the second Jurassic World film with J.A. Bahona, who tried to put some horror elements into it, which I actually thought were the most successful parts of that film. But no, I'm quietly hopeful for it to be pretty good, just because of who's involved. So it's kind of where I stand on it.
all right. I mean, seems like a decent enough movie. Only judging by the trailer. I'm not a big fan of this nostalgia output. In fact, I was going to segue this into the Smurfs trailer. I don't understand. I have a bit of a rant, actually. I have a bit of a rant because we have the Smurfs, we have How to Train Your Dragon, we have Lilo and Stitch. Megan 2.0 was expected because apparently the first one made some M3, we call it over here as a meme. We had a bit of a success, so it was expected. But I don't understand. How to Train Your Dragon? How long was it that the trilogy finished? How long?
Not all that long ago. I want to say the third one was maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah, I'm like, are we this desperate for stories? Are we this desperate that we don't have any stories? And Smurfs just introduced, it's the same story. Although I have to say, I wasn't surprised by the animation choice. At least they're going away from the CGI. They're using the new animation technique that we're seeing with what was it? Like not as flashy as Arcane, not as flashy as Spider-Man, but there's a bit of mixture of animating on tools, basically like a cartoon, and also and mixing also like real-time footage. But I'm tired, and even the music, it sounds so bland. Like, come on, move on. And again, Lilo and Stitch is like what was it? Yeah, here's the How to Train Your Dragon. Not that it doesn't look good, by the way, because when I saw the trailer of How to Train Your Dragon, Dragons looks fantastic. But again, it's the weird thing I saw is some of the dragons look very like Game of Thrones dragons, or almost like one of the main dragons look like a monster from Pacific Rim. which are meant to be scary, and then you have something that looks very cartoony as the original dragon. I forgot the name of the dragon. So anyone in chat, Toothless, yes, Toothless. And he looks very cartoony, so it's a bit jarring, you know. Why do we need live action remakes of cartoons? Let cartoons be cartoons.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. Like, I've never understood this thing which Hollywood seems to have at the moment of turning beloved animated films into live action. I don't see the huge appeal, and it's kind of something they've always done. They're just doing it a lot more now. Like, if we look back to 90s, there was the live action remake of 101 Dalmatians. You know? Not something totally uncommon and out of this world, but it's happening a lot, and it was spearheaded by Disney at first when they remade The Jungle Book, and then they remade The Lion King, and they made Mufasa, and they made Aladdin. And to me, it feels like it's a little bit disrespectful to the original artists and animators who worked on those original films, even the writers, with things that they're deciding to change which don't need to be changed, because a lot of these films which they're remaking, I can kind of understand the remake if you had a good concept or a good idea and it wasn't executed very well. And there's plenty of examples of that where you go like, oh, this film actually at its core is pretty unique and pretty good. It just wasn't executed properly. I can understand the remake in that regard, or if you have a significantly different take on it as well. I don't understand these almost play-by-play remakes where it's just live action, because then let's be honest, how much of this is actually live action? These are done on huge green screen sets, extremely rarely on location. In the case of like Lion King or Mufasa, they are entirely CGI, so there's no live action aspect to it whatsoever.
Don't get me wrong, because as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Corridor Crew when they do the special effects breakdown. Some of these movies have broken down some boundaries as far as animating goes, especially with the hair. But they made an excellent comment about the Lion King, the 3D Lion King, saying that they tried too hard to look too real. When again, Richard Nixon says let cartoons be cartoons, and there's a bit of an uncanny valley. It's like, are you going for a cartoon or are you going for a realistic depiction of an animal? You cannot have a realistic talking cartoon. And Rosie's Fable, first time chatter here, welcome. She said a banger of a first comment of her first chat where she says, these new remakes always feel so bloated for no reason. True. I think Andrea had watched The Little Mermaid. There were some extra songs, which, to be honest, did we really need extra songs? I think, there's also the aspect that maybe they want these extra songs so as not to be too close to the original material. No, I generally don't understand it. And Richard Nixon also said, I fear Stitch will have the same fate as that Sonic horror before he was redesigned. No, I disagree. I don't think watching a bit of Stitch, he doesn't look as bad as the first Sonic. First
Sonic was nightmare fuel.
Nightmare fuel A1, you know. I don't. We're not. I always say we're not short of stories, because, again, I know. I'm going back to Emilia Perez. Despite all its crap, it tried to be original. Like you don't see a musical about a cartel leader who transitions. So listening to it on paper, that concept looks very fucking original. Obviously, the execution is something else, but again, like you, it goes like Illustia. That's a very original concept. And then again, like what else? I was seeing like some like this. I don't understand though, like how Sing Sing doesn't get good nominations, for example.
Yeah.
They are good stuff. The Creator, you spoke about The Creator in the Jurassic World.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm going and moving forward to the Smurfs before we go into Formula One, and I'll let you comment. This again, I don't understand why you have another Smurfs movie. What in the name? So let's start with the good. I feel like they went to this animation technique where their eyes are in 2D and very cartoonish, and they have I don't understand. It's an interesting thing where they put like the Thoth clouds as well.
Mhm.
And even the Guardian went for it. It's like in a year that is lazily bringing back more franchises than ever before, from Jurassic World to Final Destination 28 days later to How to Train Your Dragon. Why not try once again to make Smurfs work? And okay, so it moved from Sony to Paramount, which makes sense. Oh my god! So 2 connected films and 1 reboot, and all bets have now been placed on Rihanna as Smurfette. Oh wow! So not only that, so following in the hallowed footsteps of Katy Perry and Demi Lovato. So it's not even original that they're not trying with an actress this time. They're still going for a singer actress. Right? I don't think Rihanna is a bad singer at all, but maybe I'm just a grouch. We have also this idea now. We're seeing the brothers. Still, how original is that? We're seeing both the brother of Gargamel and also the brother of I don't know the English name, because over here in Malta we used to see the Smurfs in Italian, and we know him as Grande Puffo. So I don't know if it's called Granddaddy Smurf.
I think he's just Grandpa Smurf.
Papa
Smurf, I think.
Papa Smurf.
Yeah, because it was the old song from like Newgrounds, I think.
Yeah. Hey, Papa Smurf, can I lick your?
Oh, that makes me feel old thinking about that. God,
it's fine. We're all old here, right, Chet? We're all old here.
I'm clinging to my youth as much as I can.
No, it's good. It's good to cling to
as the resident youngest guy on the podcast.
True. Okay, rub the salt in. Thank you very much, Joe. Anyway, but back to some good stuff. Shall we move on to Formula One, man? So, Joe, gonna comment on.
As I said with Formula One, I haven't seen the new trailer, so I'll comment on what I had seen before and just my general feeling about this film. Teaser trailer, which came out a couple of months back, was, I thought, really, really cool. And it showed off like ways of how they shot this film. I really like that they decided to actually shoot stuff on location at actual Formula One races. I think that's a really cool touch to add to the realism of it. I really like Joseph Kosinski as a director. The stuff he did with Top Gun Maverick was fantastic and pretty breathtaking at times with those action scenes. So I'm hoping for a similar thing over here. My one little pet peeve with this film, and it might be a really unnecessary comment to pass. Yes, it's really cool that they filmed at actual F1 races. And they included actual F1 drivers in some of that as well. I find that a little bit of a strange decision then to base it in real life when this is a fictional story and a fictional F1 team that does not exist. Like, they're not telling the story of a driver who currently exists in the F1. It's totally fictional. Now, people might disagree, but the whole time I'm just going to be thinking, like, why are these real drivers in this film against this guy as their real life, like, counterparts? You know, to me, it's just a little bit strange. And it makes it hard for me to suspend my belief when it comes to certain things. I don't think it's going to be a very big deal if the film is really exciting and really good. That's kind of where I stand with it.
Yeah, for me, I feel like the exciting camera work will trump the storyline, because it seems like a usual storyline of a racer making his comeback and his challenges along the way. So it's not something that we haven't seen before. But from the trailer which basically, again, thank fuck, doesn't show too much of the story. It shows more of the camera work. It looks fucking amazing. Like a pan in the car towards the driver was. I know it's a very stupid shot, but still, I really loved it. I felt the excitement over there. Yeah, it's very exciting. It seems. Now you're making okay. Richard Nixon also said, "I agree. It feels like a not clunky blend of reality and fiction. Give me one or the other. Real drivers feel like celeb cameos at that point. Gran Turismo did not involve real drivers, right? Or am I wrong? I know it was based on a real story.
Yeah, I don't know, as I didn't see that film.
Okay, so there's that Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo, if I'm not mistaken, was based on a real story, and they used actors to tell that story. Basically, it is a bit too meta as well. So and then again, we've had like for as car racing movies, we had oh my god, what was it called with Chris Hemsworth and
Oh, Rush. Rush is a really good
Rush,
film.
Rush, for example, where they showed the clash between not Mickey Hakonen, Niki
There was
Lauda
Nicky Lauda and
and Jack something.
British one, I know.
Yeah. My father would know. My father would know, and because he also loves that movie. And there was also there was the great documentary Senna by Asif Kapadia. I hope it is Asif Kapadia.
Yes, I believe it is. There was also, to its credit, Ford v Ferrari was a good film.
True. But that was for the 24 Le Mans, not something.
Yeah.
As far as Formula One is concerned, Senna and Rush are Formula One, but and again, it's like classic Formula One, not the new Formula One as well.
Yeah.
We'll see when it comes. I'm looking forward to see it in theaters as well. It seems like it's going to be a good adrenaline rush, and we'll comment over there. Novocaine, what did you haven't seen the trailer for Novocaine, right?
I saw a trailer for it in theater last time. At the cinema.
Sorry, I just got hit by a very interesting comment. Weird niche of I've drawn art for Formula One romance authors, so that's a thing. What, Rosie's Fables? I want to hear more about this. like a bromance. What is it? Is light fan fiction? This is really interesting. Formula One romance authors. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Rosie's Fables. Okay, back to the movies.
Yeah, so Novocaine, I did see a trailer of it last time I was at the cinema, and it seems pretty interesting. I like the concept. It's original. I like Jack Quaid as an actor as well. And it seems like it could just be really good, like semi-dumb fun. That's kind of where I stand on it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's almost it feels a bit of a retread of Kick-Ass, in a sense, since the main basically this is in the trailer, so no spoilers here. Who's this by the way? I forgot who's the director, but basically the character of Jack Quaid does not feel any pain, so he gets shot, he gets an arrow to the knee. Oh my god, I'm showing my age as well. Christ. And yeah, I'm here and there with this movie because the humor seems smug. It's like, oh my god, I got hit by an arrow. Oh my god, you see, this is the bullet I've just taken out of my body. I'm like, okay, do you have to explain the joke, basically? We'll see about that. There was the studio. The studio seems like an interesting. I really like that one in the studio where basically they go from showing a trailer. I don't know if it was mentioned here. The studio. There's Seth Rogen, Johnny Knoxville makes a comeback on the screen. No, they didn't show it over here. There's Catherine Hahn in it. There's also the guy from Neighbours, if I'm not mistaken. But it seems interesting. Where basically it could be this century's or like this century's Tropic Thunder, because it seems like a send up of the Hollywood studio system. And basically, the trailer shows that there's a zombie apocalypse, and the zombie basically pulls his pants down and diarrheas all over. I forgot what's his name from the guy from the Hunger Games. Let me see his name quickly. No, a different guy. Wait me a second.
Who was he in the Hunger Games?
I think he was the other guy, in the triangle, basically the triangle of lovers. Where's the cast? Josh Hutcherson.
Josh Hutcherson, yeah.
Yeah. So Josh Hutcherson basically gets shot on by zombies. So take it as you see it, basically. Oh no, my camera went off. So let's go back. There. So what I have is honestly kind of love that every measurable niche has its arts request. So Rosie's Fable said it's written for straight women. It's a series where each book follows a couple, where the guy is always a hot Formula One driver. I think it's smutty, but I haven't read them yet. Hey, grab that bag, I say. If it's a niche, it's a great niche. Yeah. And maybe Joe can do some trailers for these books as well. Alright, anyway.
Yeah, maybe.
So anything else before we go into in-depth reviews of movies?
I don't know anything else about the trailers, so that's where I kind of stand.
No, and then they also showed the Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts, nothing new. We've seen it, and I feel like the dark tones really make it pop. As contradictory as that sounds, Julia Dreyfus seems like she's channeling Tulsi Gabbard, because oh my god, she really looks like Tulsi Gabbard as a warioed Nick Fury. I didn't know it was. Is she like a different version of Nick Fury?
I have no idea. I know nothing about this film.
Yeah, I'm just not keeping up. I'm just not keeping up with it. But hopefully it doesn't do it dirty like they did Scarlett Johansson and her Black Widow movie, because oh my god, the effects sunk in that movie. There's that one, and there's also Fantastic Four, which seems like they're going for a very like Scarlet Witch, a sort of Scarlet Witch feel to the movie. Hopefully, I have to agree with Andrea over here, another Twitch creator. Hopefully, it's not another origin story, because truth be told, people know how the Fantastic Four got their powers as well. I think most of the people know how many of the characters started their superhero arc.
I kind of disagree there. I don't think most people, like the masses at least, know all that much about the Fantastic Four, because at least if you were like my age or your age, maybe you watched the original Fantastic Four films. Like since then, they haven't really been part of the zeitgeist, even just in terms of like the comic books haven't been as popular as they used to be in like the 60s and 70s. What I do like about this film, and it's surprising because I'm the resident Marvel hater on this podcast, I hate how much I like the look of this film so far. It's really causing me an existential crisis, because as soon as I saw it, I'm like, aesthetically, this is beautiful so far. I like the choices that they've made with the cast, number one. Even just like the way that they've made the Thing much more comic book accurate than I guess they normally would with some of these things. He looks a lot more like how the Thing is supposed to look, rather than in those films in the 2000s. He was just a big dude made of yellow rock. But I really like that they've decided to set it in the 60s in this kind of like neo-futuristic world. I think that's because that is what the Fantastic Four is. It's a really cool aesthetic, and you see like their car, which was not in the original as well. A big, huge plus is the fact that they've got Ralph Ineson to do the voice of Galactus.
Ralph Ineson?
Yes,
he's the voice
he's the voice of Galactus. Like, he's one of my favorite actors, and his voice is so like special. I like that they didn't reveal what his voice sounds like yet as well.
But it's gonna sound amazing in cinema. Good God, I love that voice.
At the same time, though, I don't know if Galactus is the right villain to start off with, because I feel like now you can't really turn him into the next Thanos with this, because this film is set decades before anything in the Marvel universe. my assumption is this is all going to be part of the Marvel universe. I don't know if this is like a kind of offshoot at all. They haven't really said, but I'm assuming it's part of the same kind of thing. So you're starting with someone like Galactus, one of the biggest villains in all of Marvel Comics. It feels like a bit of a reach in that regard. Personally, I would have loved to have seen Doctor Doom. We know that Doctor Doom is going to be the villain of the next Avengers movies, which is bonkers to me. I would have rather that they swapped them in that regard, and you had Galactus as the villain for those films and Doctor Doom this one, because he's so... Doctor Doom to the Fantastic Four is Venom to Spider-Man. You know, they're so intrinsically linked. Anyway, we'll see. We haven't seen at least that much so far of Silver Surfer, who's going to be played by Julia Garner. Another really interesting choice and a great performer as well. So it has a lot going on, and I like the way it's looking, and I actually want it to be good, which is something I never say about Marvel films.
No, I mean, like I said, the more you try to get out, they pull you back in. So we'll see about that. Anyway, I think this is going to be a very compact 60-minute podcast today. We not much movies coming out. As far as I know, there's Heart Eyes, which I have to check. There was also the trailer of Final Destination, which looked very. I was getting a bit scared as well with the Final Destination. They always try to find ways to make body horror a bit like, ugh.
Yeah.
And Richard Nixon again says, I don't know about Fantastic Four lore, but I also don't care about them, so I can't contribute. I mean, I understand, because they were done dirty by... Like, I remember the entries by Tim Story I enjoyed. Oh, wow. So it's just me today, guys. Sorry.
Camera's messing up.
Okay.
Back.
No worries. He's back. I don't... Like, I was young, I didn't mind them, I enjoyed them for what they are, just simple, like, odd family actioners. Was there another Fantastic Four movie by some Josh Trank? No, right?
Yes, Fantastic.
Fortnite, yeah.
that movie was a bit of a train wreck. Now, the interesting thing on that is Josh Trank alleges that his movie was completely ripped apart in the production of like what he wanted to do and the way that like he didn't get final cut on the film at all. He was kicked off the film apparently midway through production. And that's his side of the story. People on the production side of it with Fox have said that he was an absolute nightmare to work with, where he didn't have like a finished script and he would frequently show up to set really late. So it depends what you believe. In that regard, but I remember one time I did watch it out of curiosity because I had really liked Trank's first film.
Oh, so good, that movie.
Yes, I know the name escapes me right now, but it was a superhero one about not superpowers one with the teenagers with Dane DeHaan.
I'm gonna find.
Oh my god! Why is the name? The name is on the tip of my tongue. It is right there.
You're getting old. Chronicle.
Yeah, Chronicle. That's it. God, I really liked Chronicle, and it was. There were some things which you saw in Chronicle which you then saw in Fantastic, but it was just an absolute drag of a film. It was not entertaining. It was not well written. It was not well performed as well. So it was a whole bunch of things. I recommend people skip that one.
Yep. And okay, so that's it for today, I guess. So we can go deeper into the movies that we watched. I can go deeper into the series that I watched and explain what I liked about M, Son of the Century. And I'm seeing who other creators there, which I can show you. I can send you. By the way, I also have to do, obviously, an ad read here on Twitch because that's how I grab my bag. The ads are going to start in 3 minutes, 30 seconds. So do escape the ads like the Fantastic Four Escape Galactus and subscribe or gift a sub to anyone who's got their cheeks out in the chat. It's only for $6 a month or for free via Twitch Prime. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for helping out. We're also still doing the fundraiser for the ARC, the Anti-Recidivism Coalition, where I'm raising money basically to the prisoners who are fighting the fires in LA. Are they still fighting fires? I don't know exactly, but consider still donating to the NGO, and obviously do help them out because the current administration doesn't seem too fond of NGOs either. And after that ad read, we're into the reviews. So, you gonna start or shall I start?
I mean, I only have the Brutalist. Did we cover the Brutalist on this show yet?
I don't think we covered the Brutalist yet. You did the review, which again, let's plug. I'm gonna plug your channel again, Joe. It's Joe
Very kind.
Paolella.
Paolella Film.
So Joe Paolella Film. As you see, he's doing a great. Oh my God, your Gladiator 2 review really went well. 3,000 views. Well done.
Yeah, there's a couple which have gone over a couple of thousand. I still think my most viewed is my review of The Substance. Something happened with that. I think it got to about 6,000, which I was happy with the low amount of subscribers that I have. So.
Yeah, it happens. So guys, subscribe, or again, I haunt you or I come to you like in the night like Nosferatu. So there's that. So
I would, despite you threatening to haunt people, I would only like people to subscribe if they genuinely enjoy what I'm doing and if they feel like I'm contributing to them in any sort of way. I don't feel they have to do it.
Let's be glaze, man. No, he's doing something very consistent.
I'm humble. I would like to be more consistent. I had a bit of a manic couple of months, but now I have stability and I intend to be very consistent. So.
All right.
That's my pledge to any new subscribers that I get. I promise to be consistent, and there's going to be bigger variety of content in the year to come. If I can give a little bit of a teaser, I have some video essays lined up, which I actually just need to write and record and then edit. And I have some little things I intend on doing to like mix it up a bit. I won't reveal them here. At the risk of maybe someone stealing one of my ideas, but there will be different content to come.
But are they going to be three hour essays? Because this is how the Twitch sphere like it. Three chunky hours of content, video essays.
I don't know about 3 hours. I think I will be able to ramble on for maybe 30 to 40 minutes. We'll see. I don't really have like a cap on how long I want them to be, so we'll just see what comes out of it.
All right. I look forward to it. Because I did enjoy video essays about movies. So, let's close it down. The Brutalist. Can you go more in depth about The Brutalist?
I can go a bit more in depth about The Brutalist, I think. So, The Brutalist, for those that don't know, was originally released in 2024 in the United States, but obviously 2025 for us Europeans or people in the UK. Written and directed by Brady Corbet, who people that don't know, he previously directed Childhood of a Leader and Vox Lux. Starring Adrian Brody, Felicity Jones, Guy Pearce, Joe Alwyn, Stacey Martin, Raffi Cassidy, and Alessandro Nivola has quite a big role in the early parts of that film. Mm-hmm. And it is the story about Laszlo Toth, who is a Hungarian who has fled to America in the midst of World War II. He was previously a fairly beloved architect over there for his style in brutalism, like brutalist architecture. Obviously, the film is called The Brutalist. You should expect that going in. Yeah. And essentially, through some trials and tribulations, he meets this man with the name Harrison Van Buren, played by Guy Pearce, who, I mean, I won't delve into like how exactly they meet, but essentially this Van Buren takes a shine to him and finds out about his work. He wants to commission him to build this huge brutalist structure in this town called Doylestown, where he's basically set up his like own community. It's going to be a library and a gymnasium and also a chapel as well. He basically throws a lot of money at him to have this thing built. And it's a story about first and foremost, the American dream of moving to this land of opportunity, especially at that time where anyone could make it big, I guess, if you meet the right people. And it's a story of art and of ambition as well, but also how that ambition can be twisted and it can really hurt you in these ways. I won't spoil too much about it because there actually is quite a bit to spoil in the film, especially to do with its third act. But people will probably know this is a very long film at 3 hours and 35 minutes. It does, excuse me, it does include a 15-minute intermission Oh, excuse me.
No worries, no worries. Don't die yet.
The intermission is built into the film, so like after the film ends and the screen comes up with a 15-minute timer of when you can go buy more snacks, you can go to the toilet, you can take a little bit of a break, you can stretch your legs. And I am the big main hater of intermissions in this group because I grew up with them in Malta being a thing in every film I would go and see at the cinema. And since moving to the UK, I no longer have to worry about that. I think usually they really ruin the pacing of a film. At least in Malta, they decide to put the intermission at the very worst moment.
Oh my God, yes.
I find it really takes me out of it. At least people might disagree. But in this case, because you've got someone who has built it into their film, it makes complete sense because you get all this really important setup up to that point, and then you get a break to kind of ruminate on it and think, okay, all this has happened, what's coming next? And that's when, I guess, the real meat of the film comes into play in that second half of the film.
I'm basically showing the trailer. Sorry, on my end. By the way.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Speak about the technical aspects of the film and the direction as a whole. I think it's personally pretty breathtaking what they've done. This one was obviously shot with film, I believe, 70mm. So
yeah, Vista Vision. So
you're getting huge, and on Vista, you're getting huge vistas. You're getting really intimate, tight shots, and it incorporates a lot of this very handheld cinematography, especially with its opening shot. I think its opening shot is one of the best ones we've gotten in recent years. Then also these very extended takes where the camera just sits in one place. And there is also, at the end of the film, one of the most memorable, like, one-er takes that I've seen in a while, where a lot of people will think, because we've seen some very impressive one-ers before, like one that comes to mind is in The Invisible Man by Lee Whannell. A breathtaking one-er towards the end of that film with a lot going on. But this one, you'll feel like there's actually not much going on in it, but then when you really think about it, there is so much movement and so much room for error, and it's so intimate and messy at the same time. It was one of the moments in the film where I was like, holy hell, like the level that these people are operating on is ridiculous. There is so much work and love put into pretty much every frame of this film. It's kind of a sight to behold at times, and that is down to the cinematographer, whose name escapes me right now, also Brady Corbet as a director. It is no easy task to direct any film.
Lol Crawley. I know it sounds funny, but the cinematography is Lol Crawley. Who did Vox Max? White Toys. White Toys looks very great. And the Humans. He also did the Humans.
Mm-hmm. And where was I with that?
The cinematography is great, you said?
Yeah, and I was talking about just how it really comes together to form a pretty big picture. And I was going to say it's not easy to direct any film, but then especially a film of this kind, where it is essentially a 3.5-hour drama. That's not to say that nothing exciting happens. Obviously, it is very engaging as a film. For your third film to take on something like this must be pretty freaking scary, and they didn't have the biggest budget in the world. Like I say, only $10 million. Obviously, $10 million is a lot of money, but for something of this scale and the time it took, it is a minute budget in comparison to other films that are made and other films that is up against at the Oscars. So I really, really have to commend Corbet for not just how meticulous and how skilled he is, but for the ambition that he himself had in making this film, and it really mimics the ambition of his lead character, Laszlo Toth, who is someone who is so invested in this project, and then basically, Andrea said, the suits involved, the people with the money, try to cut these corners, and they do cause bad things to happen because of that. That's what I said at the beginning of this podcast, of what I think this film is about. It's not just an immigrant story. It's not just a story about the American dream. I think it is a film about the filmmaking process as a whole, or even just process of creating something with passion as a whole. Whether you are a filmmaker, whether you are a musician, whether you are a graphic designer, a photographer, anything, any kind of creative field, I think you'll relate to this film, because artists who are genuinely passionate will want to fulfill their vision, and they will not be satisfied until that vision is properly fulfilled. And in this day and age, when a lot of money tends to come into it, a lot of influence tends to come into it, people try to take those things away from you which really make the film special or make your art special. And that is a terrible thing for anyone to experience. And there's even a certain scene in this film where metaphor is maybe a little bit on the nose, but I kind of really liked it as well. A certain thing that happens between two characters. That's what I thought this film was really saying, and especially with the ending as well, with the way this film kind of wraps up. Kind of nostalgic with where that ending is set, because I've actually been to that actual thing. I won't ruin what it is. But no, it is fantastic from all of those technical aspects. To speak about then the cast, everyone is really good. Particularly, I thought Joe Alwyn stood out for me just because he's someone, when he is in a film, he tends to work with really, really good directors. Like, he's worked with Yorgos Lanthimos a couple of times. I never really got a role from him where I thought he could really sink his teeth into it. He always had pretty minor parts, I think. I would wonder to myself, like, what are these great directors fully seeing in this guy, and why aren't they giving him like much bigger parts? But he gets a bigger part to play here, and he's genuinely fantastic. Guy Pearce, it's really good to see him back, because I can't remember the last thing I really saw him in. He was someone I loved in the 2000s and 2010s, and I'm really happy to see him here. He is fantastic and definitely deserves his nomination. Christy Jones is another one who I've thought, when she gets the right material, she's really good, and she's great here again. Adrian Brody obviously had won the Oscar for The Pianist at the young age of 29, I believe. He is still currently the actor who was the youngest at the time to win Oscar for Best Actor.
Oh, wow, okay.
And he's nominated again, and he's also had this bit of like a renaissance period where he was huge after The Pianist, and he was in so many things. And throughout the 2010s and early 2020s, particularly in the 2010s, he sort of went under the radar. I think he chose some things which maybe he saw a bit of a paycheck in, because they seemed very out of character for him. He kind of fizzled out for a bit, but then he came back in Succession, where he had a recurring role over there, one of the seasons, and he was breathtaking in that. He was so good in Succession. And it's just really nice to see him back, because he is a fantastic actor. And we spoke about the AI stuff about this film at the beginning of the podcast. I won't rant on as I did over there. I will just put it very simply. The things that this film allegedly used AI for were, towards the end of the film, there are some like photographs and hand-drawn images of capitalist buildings, which allegedly they use AI to generate those. Now, that is not a very big deal to me, because this film cost 10 million, and they've obviously put the cost into other things. If they could not afford to hire an artist...
This movie's 10 million? No fucking way.
Yes, $10 million this movie cost. And let's also point out, they're shooting on VistaVision film. Film is incredibly expensive to shoot on. And they're shooting a 3.5-hour film.
9.6, I have here, it costs 9.6 million, and it has grossed until far 25 million. Yeah. God damn, it looks fantastic. I thought...
they obviously put the money into the right... So in this case, if they can save themselves a couple of $1,000s and not hiring someone to design these pictures, they don't really mind. AI is going to be a very useful tool when applied in the right ways. At the same time, I wish they had the money to pay another artist to come in, because that's obviously a very good thing. That's someone getting a job and getting experience. I fully back that every time if the funds are available. But working in this Hollywood system is tough. And they were probably told they had to make certain cuts to the costs. And they did it in a way which doesn't really bother me all that much at the end of the day. The thing which does bother me is the use of AI in the Hungarian accents in this film by the actors. Because that, to me, I compared it before to an athlete using performance-enhancing drugs. That is, if I'm training really hard for a boxing match, and I'm killing myself all the time, I'm not taking performance-enhancing drugs, I'm training my technique, I'm training my cardio, I'm training my muscles. And I get into a ring with someone who also has done a lot of training. They've also worked on their cardio, they've worked on their muscle mass, their technique. They are taking something like anabolic steroids. Their muscle mass is that much bigger because of it, and they're that much more aggressive, and they've much more strength than I do, I'm going to feel very hard done by that, and that is not fair. That is cheating. This is something where I do not think AI is welcome. It did put a little bit of a bitter taste in my mouth, but to kind of conclude, this is a new American epic. It is a borderline masterpiece in how it is conceived and how it is produced and how it is concluded and how the whole film looks and feels. And it's a shame that there is this slight bitter taste in my mouth, because then the performances, and the main ones who would have used this AI technology would be Adrian Brody and Felicity Jones. Their performances are fantastic in how physical they have to be and how emotional they have to be, especially Brody in this case. They are genuinely great. I don't know what I would actually love to hear what their accents sounded like before the use of AI, because for all we know, it is the smallest minor tweak, which then I don't know why they feel like they would need it. I think that would provide a lot more context if we, as fans of this, as people, could hear the difference. That is the only thing where I'm just like, that doesn't sit right with me. But for anyone who is a fan of cinema, you should definitely watch this, because you're going to get more than you can chew in this regard. It's a tough one to recommend for like casual viewers, because it's very long. It's not like huge things are happening at all times. The kind of like inciting incidents are very much towards the end of the film, so you have to be patient with it, but it does reward a patient viewer. But the bottom line is, it is genuinely fantastic. It is one of the best films of the year. It does deserve its nomination despite the use of AI. I don't know if it's going to win. Brady Corbet could win Best Director, and I wouldn't be upset about that, because it is, at its core, a breathtakingly directed film. And yeah, it's one where I came out and I was just like, it kind of like reinvigorated my hope for a more methodical and, I guess, sort of independent filmmaking, despite the fact that it had some pretty big backers behind it. So that's my review of The Brutalist.
Okay, interesting. So, and I'm showing again your YouTube channel. If you want to check out Joe Paulella's more in-depth review, there's a 20-minute video on his channel. So again, to subscribe. And finally, I'm basically showing the trailers on my Twitch for YouTube viewers, if you want to come and watch over here. But or else you can go check it out. I'm showing right now the trailer of Mussolini, Son of the Century. Now, I have to admit that I was a bit hesitant. I thought that this was going to be a hagiography. A hagiography is basically giving justifications to the rise of power of Mussolini. We all know he's a bad person, but no, this series really goes and shows the violence that was meted out, not just to the socialists, but also to the common people, and how people get swayed into this wave of upcoming fascism. And the parallels are, it's like, I was watching this scene and I'm like, oh my god, the parallels are amazing. It's again, there's a moment where workers are having a tough time making their living. The world is in disarray. Over here, it's almost like in the interwar period, where basically after the Great War, soldiers were like, okay, thank you for fighting, now fuck off and die in poverty and disdain. And basically, this guy just takes over and uses the hatred that the soldiers have and the fear that the populace have just to rise to power, basically. And as you see, at first I also thought it was how does it work with having an English director working on Italian material? It works brilliantly. Great choreography. Luca Marinelli chews the scenery, because basically what Son of the Century does is take in lots of fourth wall breaking. What was there another thing where they break the fourth wall? And the character of basically that is being played over here, the buffoon that is Mussolini, is trying to convince the audience that, hey, look at me, I'm changing the country. He changed the country, but not for the better. And you see the trials of tribulations of his rise to power, trying to control his more violent. It's funny because you see how this guy becomes. He betrays his own past as well, because it was always interesting to know that he started from the socialist, and then he went out and meted his personal vendetta on the socialist. But as you can see, the filming looks amazing. There's a particular scene I really liked. This was fantastic. There's also the great. This is how violent it gets. Les is very violent. There's also some epileptic warnings, so take care. It's really again, I cannot recommend it enough. It's based on a book by Antonio Scurati, if I'm not mistaken, and Antonio Scurati, who won the prestigious literary award called the Premio Strega in Italy for his book. And his book is called The Documentary Novel, where basically what he does is he fictionalizes the events, but then shows that these events were actually based on real life stories. So he has all the documents showing that, listen, these things happened. It was a critique given by, if I'm not mistaken, by the Washington Post, that it's like it tends to be repetitive. It's like, why are you showing me the documents of what I've already just read? But I think I understand what he was trying to do, and it's really funny because some of the critique of the book said that this book is not historically accurate. So it's interesting that how is he not this historically accurate, and yet he provides the documents for it. So I don't understand. But it's very quotable. It's very quotable. You see the eternal contradiction that is fascism. It's like he first goes like, yes, we're an anti-party, we're against elections, and then immediately the scene after, okay guys, we need to participate in the elections so that we don't let the socialists win. I mean, much of my audience on the Twitch side knows how fascism works. Do give it a word, guys. I'm in episode 5. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, this reminds me a lot of a favorite movie of mine called Il Divo, which is again Il Divo trailer. Hopefully they don't.
Sorrentino, no?
Il Divo is Sorrentino, yes. Where basically Il Divo has an amazing camera work. Oh my god, this is potato quality over here, 360p, because this was shown like 2008. As you can see, there's great camera work over in this one. I'm showing a bit of the trailer of Il Divo. It reminded me of that, where basically they take a character which is unsavory and make a movie about it. But again, you can see this is such a great scene where basically the scene they're projecting his past on the ceiling of his office, and he strikes a match and throws it to the ceiling. So there's really great artistic decisions made over here. And Luca Marinelli chose the scenery. I do have to say, sometimes they're having too much fun doing this, but it is what it is. So if you want to see it, it's a great. If you see it away from the politics of it all, it's a great anti-hero series where basically you can't but not be beholden by the antics of this anti-hero, but at the same time. No, this is a great line over here. If democracy survives, it is the courtesy of Benito Mussolini. So for now, and then the following line. So he says so behave and be good, or else I'll take away the treat. He treats democracy as a treat. So there's that. Again, I'm in episode 5. I think I'm gonna continue binging it either tonight or in the coming days, because that's it for today, I would say. I'm also going to send my Twitch audience to another creator thank you for following. Thank you, Yugopnik, for the raids. Really, really appreciate it. So I'm going to do another shout out to Yugopnik. Yugopnik is another creator on Twitch. Our Balkan cousin, basically. And yeah, anything else, Andrea, Joe?
No, I haven't watched anything else, so I have nothing else to contribute. Did you guys cover The Wolf Man? I'm not willing to do a review for that. People can go and watch my review of that.
No worries, no worries. So yeah, go do watch the review for the Wolfman. I have to watch it, but it seems
my TLDR is it is quite shit and bad.
No, Leeman, no.
It's a shame. It is not good.
Oh my god. I hope they didn't fuck him over, because again, The Invisible Man was amazing.
Yeah, I know, that's why I had my hopes up, but it is a huge fumble. Like, I was angry.
Oh shit. Okay. So again, if you want to see Joe Palella be angry, watch him on his YouTube channel. All right. Andrea, anything else before we call this home run or a touchdown, since it was about since this was about the Super Bowl trailers? That's all. So thank you so much for following again, guys. Really appreciate it. So do subscribe to the Ad Lib Podcast. Let this teacher make the bag somewhere else. Do subscribe to J Paolella again. Do also subscribe to my channel on Twitch, where I also not do just politics. I also do every Monday. I do a movie talk. I enjoy like detaching away from the politics stuff. I also do some gaming now. I'm doing retro gaming, guys. You remember Metroid Zero Mission and Metroid Fusion?
Great games.
Game Boy. And I'm really getting into some good games like Hades. I'm really enjoying Hades.
Hades is fantastic. Hades is a fantastic game.
I'm playing it offline for now, and hope I might play BioShock again, because BioShock was
BioShock. I love BioShock.
Great game.
The remastered versions apparently on Steam together, so BioShock 1 and BioShock 2 together are only €8. So I said, fuck it, it's a steal. Yeah. So I'm going to be playing those as well.
Infinite is also really good. Play Infinite as well, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
Violet Haunting, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the love.
All three of the games are brilliant. I mean, there's 3 games, right? 1, 2, and Infinite. Yeah, all 3 are great. All 3 are really good. And Hades is very good as well, by the way, because I didn't comment about
Hades.
I love Hades.
I also started playing what's the Blasphemous 2, but I cannot stream it because it's on the PlayStation 5. But I'll find a way to stream it basically. I heavily suggested, guys, Blasphemous, especially.
I played the first one. The first one's really good.
Amazing, the first one. The second one does retread a bit of the same stuff, but again, I just genuinely love the art direction that it goes through.
Yeah. And actually, I have a game suggestion for you, Franco.
All right.
Because I was speaking to someone about this game. I think it's one of the best games ever made, and I think it's very much up your street. But if you can get your hands on the Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds.
Yeah, okay. Not to be confused with the Outer Worlds. Outer Wilds. It is a fantastic game. I don't know if Andrea's played it before, but I lost a lot of my life.
Outer Worlds was very good.
I lost a lot of my life to Outer Wilds. It is beautiful. The soundtrack's incredible, and it's just incredibly unique and an incredible experience. I recommend it to everyone.
Oh wow! And have you seen? What was it called? What's it called? There's a really great game coming out where basically they mix 3D and stop motion. I think something called The Midnight.
I don't think I know that one.
A handcrafted solar system. Oh, that's interesting. I'm not a fan of first person, to be honest. So I'm only playing BioShock because I like the cinematic aspect of it as well. Huh?
Yeah, so, I have a feeling you'll forget very quickly about the first person aspect in this game.
So The Midnight stop motion. What was it? Stop motion game. South of Midnight. I think it's South of Midnight. So I'm showing the trailer on my Twitch. So that's a mood game. No, it's not. I don't think it's South of Midnight. It was something more. The Midnight Walk. The Midnight Walk, where basically you're a candle. The character is a candle, and it has the little nightmare vibes as well, and it's a great marriage of stop motion and 3D as well. A Tale of Fire. So it's called The Midnight Walk. So do check the trailer over there. That's it, I guess, guys. And I'm gonna send the Twitch viewers to another creator here, Tom Nicholas. Speaking of video essayist, Tom Nicholas is a great video essayist, and we're gonna start the raid. And in the meantime, we can close the episode, Andrea.
Yes, we can.
Or anything.
Thank you so much, guys. So thank you to all the
Thank
viewers
you.
and listeners on Franco's Twitch and on YouTube. Hope you had a good time. And with that, we'll be back next week with another episode of the Ad Lib Podcast. Ciao,
Well,
ciao.
thank you, guys.
Joe. Ciao, ciao, Franco.
Ciao,
to
Andrea,
all the viewers
and
listeners.
You
good
guys.
luck. Good luck with your stuff.
Cheers.
And
Cheers.
I'm gonna send you guys to Mr. Tom Nicholas, our Twitch viewers.
Have
Hope
a
you
good one.
enjoy.